Hello and welcome to the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast. It is September 20th, 2024. This is episode 276. Stand-up comedian, actor, improviser, and dreamer, Paul Green coming to you, sharing my journey as a performer and as a dreamer, and hoping that any insight and wisdom and learnings that I have learned might be of benefit to somebody else. And if not, well, I'm having a good time. So let's do a quick catch up on what has been going on. This has been a crazy week, and it's going to be a crazy couple of days for yours truly. So I started out this week flying back from Iowa from a couple gigs over the weekend, and I have so many shows going on. So Wednesday night, I did Arizona goat yoga. If you listen to my podcast, I talked about that very interesting experience. And then last night, I had a very unique experience as well. And that is because I was able to perform improv again with a new cast of improvisers. Now, when I say new, I mean new to me. So last night, a buddy of mine named Ezra Stormont, who I've actually had on the podcast, everybody, if you go back, I had him on pretty early, so you'll have to dig in the annals of history to find my interview with Ezra Stormont, which was a super fun interview, by the way. So Ezra is an incredibly funny, talented stand-up comedian, and unbeknownst to me, he's also an improviser. And so last night, he put together an improv show at JP's Comedy Club, my hometown club, and invited me to be on the cast. And so we have never performed improv together. The two other performers I know through stand-up, I had seen them do stand-up, and so I knew who they were, but also I'd never done improv with them. And we put together this improv show. We showed up about 2 hours before showtime, and we just ran through all of our improv games that we were going to play in the parking lot, and then put on a show. And I'm going to tell you, it went pretty well. It was very fun. I thought that for the four of us never having performed together before, it went exceptionally well, and had a really fun crowd. We maybe had 50 people there, I'm going to guesstimate. So the theater the venue was maybe half full. And they were great. They seemed to have a great time. They were laughing a lot, and we were having a lot of fun on stage. And overall, it was just a really fun show and very fulfilling for me. If this is your first time listening, you don't know my history, I started as a short-form improviser. That's when I first started cutting my teeth as a regular comedic performer. And I did short-form improv from 2008 till I moved to LA in 2015, almost exclusively. I mean, I was doing it all the time. I was in an improv troupe. I would perform anywhere from 2 to 4 shows every weekend. I did a ton of corporate improv shows, hundreds of corporate improv shows, Christmas parties, corporate retreats, dentist office, software companies, home builders. I mean, AutoZone. I mean, I cannot even begin to list how many improv shows I have done. So, however, this year I have found myself somewhat improv homeless and have really only been doing stand-up comedy. And so this was really fun to get to do improv again and to have it go well. So that was really exciting, really fun. And we'll see what happens with that. I've already put together and booked my own improv show at that same venue next month as well, interestingly enough. And so that's exciting for me to have some short form improv performance is coming up and to be able to start exercising that muscle, because it really, in short form improv, really is my first love. So right after doing the improv show, the owner of the club was gracious enough to let me do his open mic, and to open his open mic, and he gave me 15 minutes, which is like unheard of for an open mic. And that went okay. It was a little, I don't know. Sort of the challenge there is the show goes right from the improv show right into the open mic. And so the audience has just seen a show, and then there's like kind of this shuffle that happens to where some people get up and leave. There's comics coming in. So it's a little distracting. And so I'm trying to get up and start doing my stand-up while people are leaving, while people are coming in. There was a lot of conversation going on kind of in the back, because comics were coming in to do the open mic, and so they're having to get squared away, and so it was not super focused, and I don't know. And plus, I haven't been doing stand-up as often, and so, my stand-up's a little rusty. It's a little loose. But what I am working on is I have a comedy festival this Monday in Las Vegas, and I have 7 minutes there. And so what I'm going to be working on, and what I have been working on, is really tightening down the 7 minutes of stand-up that I'm going to do at that festival, and to really tighten up my material. I have an idea of what I want to do. But the good news is I'm going to be back at that same comedy club tonight and tomorrow with 2 shows each night, which means I'm going to get 4 chances. And what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to open my stand-up set with the 7 minutes that I'll be doing in Las Vegas on Monday. And then the rest of the time, I'm going to do some crowd work. So that should be fun. Really looking forward to it. But man, it's just going to be a crazy week. So I've got the 2 shows tonight, and then tomorrow morning I have a corporate gig. Well, I am going to be emceeing the Mesa Marathon, and that starts at 5 in the morning. So I'm going to do 2 shows tonight. I'm not going to get done until almost 11, and then I'm going to have to pack up, get some sleep, wake up at like 4 in the morning so that I can make my call time of 5 a.m. for the Mesa Marathon. And that is just going to be, that's going to be a lot. And then right after the marathon, I then have my sketch comedy rehearsal at noon. And then right after rehearsal, I'm going to turn right around and go back to JP's for 2 more shows tomorrow night. And then Sunday, I'm going to have my open mic that I host, and then I'm going to drive to Vegas. And then I have my comedy festival in Vegas Monday night. And then I'm going to turn right around, drive back to Phoenix, and then I have a show in Yuma on Thursday, and then a show in Safford on Friday. So it is going to be a crazy couple weeks, but I am loving it, everybody. Just super excited to have all of these show opportunities and a chance to perform in different contexts, doing stand-up, doing improv, doing sketch comedy, performing in front of goats, comedy festivals, different markets, different towns, different cities. So really excited. So that is the update, everybody. And let's change gears and talk about the book that I've been reading that has been very inspirational, and I am loving it. And that book is called The Magic of Thinking Big. So The Magic of Thinking Big, really loving this book. I'm resonating with all of the principles, all of the philosophies. And the chapter that I read recently is called Make your attitudes, your allies. Oh, man. Is there anything worse than a bad attitude? So I really think that this is very self-explanatory, but maybe it's not. There is just so much power and magic into the attitude that that we show up with in life, no matter what it is that you're doing, whether that's a relationship, professional, casual, whatever it is. Just having a good, positive attitude, showing respect, showing gratitude, showing love for people. One of my favorite things to do is anytime I'm, going to a restaurant or whatever, is trying to make, the server or the bank teller or the cashier, whoever, is to just try to make their day and to just come in with good energy, come in with a lot of love, try to make some jokes, try to riff. And I just love that. There's just something that brings so much meaning to my life when I can go into a situation that typically is somewhat innocuous or somewhat formal or boring, and really being able to bring a different attitude and bring a different light and see if it doesn't enhance the experience. And of course, the book just starts to give all these examples of, people who, both bad examples and good examples of, people who were in a certain situation and brought a bad attitude and the results that yielded, versus people showing up in the same circumstance with a good attitude and yielding better results. He talks about somebody who was trying to get donations for the Red Cross or something like that, and just kind of had a bad attitude, wasn't really sold on the idea of the Red Cross, and obviously nobody wanted to donate. And then, contrast that with somebody who came in who just really believed in the organization and was passionate, and of course people started donating. And there is just tremendous power in that. And I can say, I think, this is just my own opinion anecdotally, that probably the most powerful and beneficial attitude is to assume an attitude of gratitude and graciousness. And I just know for me, when somebody expresses gratitude for me and is gracious towards me, I'll go to the ends of the earth for them. And the flip side of that is, if I feel that somebody is not appreciating what I'm bringing to the table, or doesn't express gratitude for it, or if, in some cases, maybe even expresses disdain or criticism, it's like, I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm at least emotionally unchecked out. And because I'm aware of that, I always try to be conscious of how I am treating the people around me and the people who are behaving towards me in a manner that is charitable, or that is it's not even really charitable, but just like friends who want to hang out with me, or people who want to work with me, or people who are trying to book me or help me, or just want to be friends, or like whatever it is, of doing my best to express gratitude for any amount of time or energy that another human being puts into my life. And learning to really feel that, and to feel it, and to express it, and to recognize it. Because, man, I'll tell you, there is just nothing more off-putting than a sense of entitlement or a sense of what have you done for me lately? You know what I mean? You give something to somebody and it's like, oh, well, thanks for that, but now it should be more, or it wasn't enough, or, but I don't know. I just, yeah, that sort of attitude. I'll tell you, if you definitely want me to withdraw my my interest or my energy, come at me with a sense of entitlement or lack of appreciation. And because I'm aware of that, again, I try to be very cognizant of how I am treating other people in my life, and not necessarily just as a means to get what I want from them, because that's manipulative, but coming from a place of, oh my gosh, I actually genuinely am grateful that this person has given me a piece of their time, given me a piece of their energy. I mean, there really is no greater gift. So, yes, I am definitely a big fan of making your attitudes your allies. And if there is anything that is not going well in your life, or if you have a dream that isn't being fulfilled or that you're pursuing and it doesn't seem like it's happening as fast as it should or manifesting in the way that you want, I would start by taking a look at your attitude. What is the attitude in which you are showing up? Are you, again, showing up with a sense of entitlement? Hey, the world owes me this because I exist. Or are you showing up with a sense of, man, I am so grateful for every opportunity, and I am going to show up to every opportunity with a sense of gratitude, a sense of wonder, a sense of opportunity, a sense of happiness, and let the cards fall where they may fall. And I can definitely say that in my life, that has probably yielded the most significant results, not only tangibly, but also intangibly. I mean, I'm just so much happier. I'm so much happier when I'm grateful. I'm so much more happy when I am trying to look at each situation with gratitude, graciousness, ambition, hope, optimism, happiness, joy, a sense of humor. And that's not to say that every situation in life needs to be happy, because crappy things happen. Bad things happen. Discouragement happens. Things don't go like you had planned. And, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be frustrated. But at the core of all of that, even through the difficulty, even through the struggle, even through the setbacks, being able to take a step back and go, okay, well, that thing didn't go the way that I had planned, but you want to know what? I can still be grateful. I can still be excited. I can still be ambitious, even if it's something horrible. And maybe that means you need to grieve for a while. Maybe that means you need to cry for a while. Maybe that means, whatever it is. With all of that, there is so much of our attitudes that do come down to a conscious choice. It may not feel like a conscious choice. It just may feel like, oh, well, this is just how I am, and this is just how I'm perceiving the situation, and this is just the energy and attitude that I'm going to show up with. But I have proven to myself that I can choose to adjust my attitude. It's not always fun. Sometimes it's humbling. Sometimes it's embarrassing. And I'm not saying I do it perfectly. I definitely don't. But it is something that I'm aware of. And the more that I have been consciously aware of my attitude and making attitude adjustments when I am capable of doing so, or when I choose to be capable of doing so, has always yielded better outcomes than when I have showed up in life with a bad attitude, or my own sense of entitlement, or my own sense of unhappiness, or what have you done for me lately attitude. Not a fan of that. Definitely not a fan when I have showed up feeling entitled, and definitely not a fan when people show up in my life like that. So all about it, everybody. So yeah, let's take a look at the attitudes and see if there's not an opportunity to make some adjustments and potentially have a better outcome, a more effective outcome, a more gratifying outcome, and get us closer to fulfilling our dreams. All right, everybody, that's all for me. I have got to go get ready for my 2 shows tonight and got to get ready to wake up at 4 a.m. tomorrow. So I love you all so much. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I'm so grateful for anybody who takes the time to listen to what I have to say. I truly hope that anything that I say at least provides a little bit of insight, maybe some inspiration. And if it helps you at all on your journey to your dreams, then it is well worth the effort. So keep pursuing your dreams, everybody. I love you all so much. This is the Paul Green Comedy Podcast, September 20th, 2024, episode 276. Love you all so much. I'll talk to you tomorrow.